Welcome to another lecture on DBMS. Today I am going to discuss the database languages. So DBMS has appropriate languages and interfaces to express database queries and updates. So actually in database we are storing the data. On the data we are going to apply many more operations, like it may be retrieval operation, or it may be storing operation, or it may be some other kind of operation. So to do all these kind of operations, the database systems have the languages and interfaces to express all this. These database languages can be used to read, store, and update data in the database. Basically, we are storing the data in the database for further retrieval or for modification operations. So all these can be done by making use of database languages. These database languages can be basically classified into DDL, DCL, DML, TCL. Let us see one by one. DDL, Data Definition Language. The expansion for DDL is Data Definition Language. It is used to define database structure or pattern. So for example, it means it mainly deals with the structure of the database. It deals with the space. Means whenever you are using the create table command, then automatically it is creating the space for storing your data. So whenever you are dropping the table, so in that case, it is freeing the space to store some other data. So it is basically dealing with the structure of the database, whether you are creating or destroying or deleting the structure from the database. So it is used to create the schema, which can be called as the skeleton of a database system, or the overall design of the database system. So it is basically used to create the schemas, tables, indexes, constraints, etc. Either by making use of create command or by making use of the alter command, we can apply the constraints on the data which is stored in the database. So let us see what are the commands that comes under the DDL, Data Definition Language. So basically by making use of data definition language, it is used to store the information of metadata. Metadata means data about the data. So the number of tables and schemas, it stores the information about that. So here let us see what are the commands comes under the DDL. The commands comes under the DDL are create, alter, drop, truncate, rename. So here I am discussing some of the commands. Here we can have many more commands also. So here the first command, the basic commands which comes under the DDL are create, alter, drop, truncate, rename. So first one is create. So here the create command can be used to create the object in the database. Here in the to create the object in the database means we are using the relational model. So everything we are treating in terms of, or everything we are storing in terms of tables. We can consider it as a table object means. So here it is used to create object in the database. So for storing your data, firstly we should have to create the table. So by making use of the create table command, the table will be created. Like create table, and here you should have to specify the table name and the fields along with the data types we should have to provide. So basically create command can be used to create the table. Next one is the alter command. Alter command is used to alter the structure of the database. Okay, for example, altering the structure means modifying the structure of the table. For example, for the first time, I have created my table called student with the fields some SID, SName, and here age. Okay, these are the columns whatever I have specified when I have created my table by making use of a create table command. Now I want to alter my table, means I want to add one more column to the existing table structure. In that case, we can go for the alter command. So alter can be used to modify the structure of the table. So by making use of alter table name, then we should have to add the column name. So in that case, one more column you can add like a branch for the existing table structure. Or else generally whenever we are creating the tables, we provide the constraints on the tables like primary key, foreign key, check constraints, etc. For example, we forgot to give that constraints when the table is created. The same we can do by making use of the alter command. By making use of alter command, we can provide the constraints or we can add the constraints to the table by making use of this alter command. So whenever you are using this alter command or whenever you are using the alter command to apply the constraints on the table, in that case, we should have to check the data, whether it is violating the constraint or not. If there is no data, then directly you can add it. Next one is the drop table command. Whenever we apply the drop command on the table, the syntax is drop table name. So drop table name means here it is deleting the entire table structure from the database. Once we typed that drop table name means automatically the entire structure, that means entire table will be removed from the database. Okay, by the next time after running that command, if I try to insert into the table, for example, student table only here I want to consider. And by making use of the drop command, I dropped the student table. Drop table student I wrote. That command is executed. And the next second, what I am trying to do is insert into student. Means I am trying to insert some data into the student table, which is already deleted. So it is not possible here. Why? Because the structure also will be deleted from the database. Okay, that is a drop command. Not only the data, the entire structure of the table along with the data will be removed from the database. The next one is the truncate command. The truncate command, it is used to remove all the records from the table. So it is used to remove all the records from the table. Not one record by record. It records all the it deletes all the records at once. Next one is a rename. The rename is used to rename an object. Means here we can rename the table to a new name. We can change the name of the table. Okay, these are the basic commands which comes under the data definition language, that is DDL. Okay, in the next class, I discuss about the syntaxes with examples also for all these commands. The next one is a data manipulation language, DML, data manipulation language. So here, this data manipulation language is used basically to manipulate the data, means to update the data which is stored in the database. Or we can retrieve the data what is stored in the database. Okay, these are the basic operations which we can perform by making use of the DML commands or DML language. So the basic commands under the DML are select, insert, update and delete. The select is used to retrieve data from the database. Here, by making use of this select command, we can retrieve the data. We can retrieve the data, either all the data by making use of a star. If you write like a select star from table name, that star represent all the data from the table we can retrieve. Or else we can retrieve the data conditionally. Means whatever the data you want, that also you can retrieve it by making use of a select command. Or not only all the columns, I want to retrieve only some 2 columns or 3 columns out of 10 columns, means that also we can do by making use of the select command. Basically, the select command can be used to retrieve the data from the database. The next one is the insert command. Insert is used to insert the data into the table. So whenever we created a table by making use of create table command, then the structure will be created like this. For example, if we consider the same student table. So here SID, name and age. Here we created the table by making use of a create table command. Whenever you use the create table command, this structure will be created like this. So we don't want to be the table empty. So I want to insert the data into that table. So that can be done by making use of the insert command. So insert into the table name. Values, whatever you want, we can specify. For example, student ID is 1, the name is some Ajay, and here is age is some 20. So like this, we can insert the data into the table by making use of the insert command. Next one is update. Update is used to update the existing data, means to modify the existing data which is already stored in the table. Okay, for that we can use the update command. Update table name. So set, the set is used to set the new value. Okay, for example, here I specified the name as Ajay. I want to modify that as Vijay. Then what I can do is I should have to write the update command. So update table name is student and set what field you want to set, that we should have to write. Set, I want to write it as what is the column name? Name. Set name is equal to Vijay. Where you should have to specify the condition. SID is equal to 1. In that case, automatically, whenever this query you have executed, this will be changed to Vijay. So, which can be called as a update operation. So, like this, you can update any of these data in the table, whatever is already inserted. This is called as update operation. Next one is delete. Delete is used to delete all the records from the table. So whenever we write a delete from table name command, so by making use of delete, we can delete all the records at a time, or else by making use of delete, we can delete the data row wise by specifying the condition also. In both the ways, we can use the delete command. Delete from table name. In this case, entire data, the whatever stored, that entire data will be lost. We can remove all the data which is stored in the data table. For example, if we write like a delete from table name, and here if we specify the condition by making use of a where class, then it deletes only that particular record where the condition is satisfied. So like that, we can either delete the entire data which is stored in the table, or else we can delete the data row wise by specifying the condition by making use of a delete command. Next one is a data control language. So that is called as DCL. This DCL is a data control language. So it is used to retrieve the stored or saved data. So here, basically we are storing the data in the database, and it can be basically used to retrieve the stored or saved data. So under this, we can have two commands. One is grant and another one is revoke. So grant is used to give the user access privileges to the database. Grant permissions. So here it can be used to access the privileges to the database. Hence, by making use of granting, we are granting the permissions to the users. And revoke, it is used to take back the permissions. In some cases, we may require to take back the permissions whatever are given to the user. In that case, we can go for the revoke. Next is a transaction control language. So here transaction means a set of operations we can call as a transaction. So TCL is used to run the changes made by DML statement. TCL can be grouped into a logical transaction. Okay, these are grouped into logical transaction. Means up to which part we want to commit or up to which portion of the database we want to roll back. So here under this TCL, the two basic commands used are commit and rollback. Commit is used to save the transaction on the database. So whenever you specified some operations, like I have applied the update command on the table, I have updated the data which is stored in the table. After that, if we write a commit, then automatically whatever the changes you have done on that table will be saved in the database. Rollback. Next one is rollback. It is used to restore the database to original since the last commit. So commit is for saving your modifications, and the rollback is to bring the database into the previous stage before that operation, whatever is available. It restores the database to the original. So these are the basic commands that are used under the transaction control language TCL. In the next video, I'll explain what are the syntaxes used for this DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, including the examples. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.